All right, good morning, Trade Pros. Welcome to March 2nd. Wow, it's March already. I can't believe how fast time's flying this year in 2020. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I apologize about the YouTube mistake. We started a video and then ended it accidentally, so we're doing the live here. But at least if you're watching this on the replay after the fact, you still get a chance to see it. All right, we had some technical difficulties early on. Let's talk about coronavirus because those are the latest developments. Futures markets opened up, futures markets rallied on Friday really strongly. On Friday morning's market update, we're talking about watch for a potential rip into the close. We got almost 80 points in 15 minutes. All right, that's what I'm talking about. That's a rip into the close into to end last week. This week started out with a downside gap. So we gapped down almost 90 points. Then we rallied to take out some of the losses. Now we're back near the lows. All right, it's a lot of volatility, a lot of swings up and down, a lot of gyrations. All right, here's the updates on coronavirus. Cases globally climbed to over 90,000. All right, the U.S. has now recorded 89 infections. Washington has had their first and second death. All right, all these cases are now being reported. One in the New York City as well, NYC on Sunday. A woman in her 30s who recently traveled to Iran, all right, is being quarantined 14 days. So all these cases at the moment are tied to events where people have traveled to known regions that have had the infections. There haven't been any reports of a human-to-human infection that was outside of the troubled areas. Somebody catching it in the U.S. from somebody else in the U.S. And so, I think as those escalate, things are going to get out of hand a little bit more. I think at this point, a couple of weeks ago, we're asking, look, if this spreads to outside of China, there's going to be problems in the market. That's happened. And the market has dropped 16% in 1 week. All right, that's significant. That's the fastest decrease or drop in markets since 1928 to 1933. In fact, the sell-off, the first 16% happened way faster than it did what led to eventually the Great Depression. All right, I'm not saying it's going to happen this time. It's a lot more of an active market these days. There's more participants. There's more computer programs also keeping the market, providing liquidity. And so I expected the slide to be more aggressive. I think that if there is a market crash of 30, 40, 50%, it's going to happen much faster. Markets take the stairs up and the elevator down. All right, White House officials are meeting to discuss tax cuts and other emergency measures. That's some information that was leaked. It's not official. That's by the Washington Post. All right, this morning, ECB's Wunsch says that ECB does not have to act on every negative shock. He says that a recovery may be delayed, but it's not derailed. A V-shaped recovery like this is not the only type. So there are some central bankers who are saying, look, we don't think we should do anything. We don't have to be reactive to every single situation, which is in contrast to what I'm going to say now. All right. A lot of central banks have promised to take action. A rare statement from Jerome Powell on Friday, where he said that there will be action if it's necessary. All right, now we're looking at the Fed Watch Futures. March 18th has a 100% chance of a rate cut. All right, so in just over 2 weeks, there's a 100% chance that the rate will be cut. That's what the market expects. Will Jerome Powell deliver? All right, in addition to that, the Bank of Japan has said it's going to ensure stability in financial markets and followed up with a 4.6 billion combined bond purchase and repo operation. All right. And also data has showed that they've bought a record amount of stock funds. That's Japan. So Japan's already taking action. All right. Bank of England also said it was working to ensure that there are steps taken to protect financial and monetary stability. So the Bank of England is saying, look, we might do something about this. All right. France's Minister of Finance, Bruno Le Maire, said that the group of 7 will meet and have a teleconference this week to discuss a coordinated response. All right, so what's happening here is global central banks are saying, look, if this thing's causing a lot of market panic, a lot of market shock, all right, people are certainly panicking about it. There's a lot of videos of Costco's being cleaned out of toilet paper, hand sanitizer, face masks, and those things, where face masks don't help you at all. It actually probably make you sicker. It holds your own germs into your face, all right? But so a lot of stores are getting cleaned out, and so now the central bank's saying, look, what are we going to do about this? Victoria and I were just talking this morning, all right? And it's like, what will central banking easing really do in a situation where everyone's just trying to stay safe, all right? Unless it's going to provide more cash to buy toilet paper, I guess. But other than that, what will the easing do? If it provides extra liquidity, If people aren't using the extra liquidity, it doesn't matter how much extra liquidity you provide, it's useless as a tool. And so that's an interesting point. All right, will the market embrace this liquidity, or will they take it and not do anything with it? If it doesn't circulate into the economy, doesn't matter how much money you print, it's absolutely useless. All right, it's kind of like having, having somebody come up to you and say, man, you're my friend, I have a drug addiction problem, can you help me? And you just pull out your wallet, start throwing a couple hundreds at them, and you say, you know what, take that, just go. All right, any other questions? That's kind of how a coordinated central bank response looks, but it will give the market a little bit of confidence if it does happen. At the moment, there's just talk, no action. Be careful for potential rip if that does happen. I think early on this week, we get a little bit of buy stops. There's two scenarios here. We've sold off enough that we might get a little bit of a recovery. All right, think about this. If you were long from 2-3 weeks ago, you're probably out of your trade now. You've been stopped out. You've sold already. If you're short, you're probably thinking it's getting a little bit too late to be short. And if you're a retail trader and you've missed this whole thing, you're already short at the lows. That's just fact. And so if everyone that wants to sell is already sold, that means there's actually a lot of buyers waiting to happen. So at some point this week, I think it's Monday, Tuesday to mid-Wednesday around, get a little bit of recovery in the markets. All right, and then we probably head a little bit lower to end the week. The other scenario is we break through the lows and we keep going. This morning is very paramount. What will happen to the market? Will it break the lows or will it hold them? That's going to dictate how the week looks and shapes up. All right. Equities in Asia are up across the board. European equities are down between 0.5% to 1%. In the United States, Dow's down about 0.5% along with the S&P and NASDAQ. Okay, crude oil is up a little bit this morning after trading as low as 43.22. Right, that's really low. Gold's up 2.5%, but has sold off since as well. Gold right now is trading at 15.94. Okay, so it's lost about $10 an ounce. Bitcoin's up 1.5%. And this morning at 10 a.m., we have ISM Manufacturing Index. So we're going to see what the latest manufacturing numbers look like and construction spending. So no real big news. No real big news this week till the end. Friday, we have monthly payrolls, the jobs data that the Fed looks at, and that's so important. Other than that, the week's a little bit light on economic data. Follow the momentum, follow the technicals, all right, and trade with the trend. Be careful fading this thing. You're going to get your head ripped off. All right, I see a lot of volatility coming out on the open. Okay, I think this week is going to pick up the tone of where we ended last week on Friday. All right, guys, that's what I got for you today. I apologize about technical difficulties early on in the morning. Love you all. Hope you have a great session. Manage your risk, trade, Trade Pro, and come trade with us in the room. All right, we do this daily, and we're having phenomenal success in terms of our poll. A lot of traders with live capital are green higher than when it was a bullish market, because when markets sink, this is when we traders swim, all right, and do a really good job at it. And there's a ton of opportunity. So capture it with us. Have a great rest of your days. Thanks for tuning in, and goodbye. I got to open up the trading room. All right. You guys take care. YouTube, love y'all. Have a great rest of your session. Be careful and be safe out there. All right. Wash your hands. Don't touch your nose and eyes or mouth. All right. See you guys later. Goodbye. Love y'all. Trading room, let's get this started. I'll send it over to Steven for our oil report, and then we'll cover equities and some levels that we're looking for some positions to take advantage of today's volatility.